Ladies and gentlemen, the Biden administration is pushing legislation that will make it difficult, a lot more difficult, for law-abiding citizens to obtain, we'll just call it a Second Amendment, okay? So, after every tragedy and atrocity, they say, well, it's the object's fault, and my goodness, if a person... They never focus on the actual, like, the individual that commits the atrocity. They never say, my goodness, this person was intent on doing something absolutely horrendous. And almost certainly in most cases, by the way, most crimes are committed with illegally obtained Second Amendments. But they never say, okay, this person committed a horrendous act. They say, you see, they do the same thing with the pandemic, and they preside over the worst outcomes. Go to the New York Times statistics. The states with the worst outcomes did everything that all the wonderful experts said to do. And they had the worst outcomes, and then they pontificated the most. 1 out of 2 people who lost their lives reside in either New York or California. 7 of the top 11 states with the greatest number of lives lost, according to the New York Times statistics, are Democratic-run states and account for 40% of all the lives lost. The highest per capita rates, last I checked, the top 4 highest, were Democratic-run states. So you can't, and New York and New Jersey have consistently, and God bless the people of New York and New Jersey, have consistently been, according to New York Times statistics, at the highest levels in terms of per capita. That's not Trump's fault. That also should prevent Democrats and media and wonderful, morally superior liberals from preaching and judging and pontificating and condemning anyone that didn't listen to them. And you saw what happened, how whether it was the president or Herman Cain lost his life, if they can find what they view as some type of event to say, you should listen to us, you see, they're despicable. They gleefully tried to call out people who suffered from this tragedy. I'm giving you just an example. Kind of veering off from the topic here, but we'll get to Hunter Biden in a second. But if there's a topic where they demand complete and absolute obedience, and a person doesn't listen to them, well, you see, our policies made sense. You can look, the cities with the greatest number of laws curbing the Second Amendment have a great many human beings who break the law and utilize the Second Amendments to commit crimes. It doesn't work in a whole bunch of cities, whether it's New York or Chicago or Los Angeles or Detroit or any major city in this country, any major city in a blue state. It doesn't work. Simply pointing out that, well, laws. If you want to point out cities that you want to say, well, if you want to say states that have the least control or Second Amendment controls, they have more lives lost or more people losing their lives. That takes into account a whole bunch of things that Democrats don't address, or the statistics can't take into account issues that Democrats don't address within those numbers. But also, that's not a rebuttal to, hey, why aren't people following the law? If you have major cities of this country, D.C. is an example, major cities in this country where there's a tremendous amount of laws regulating the Second Amendment, and still people don't care. It's not an issue that the United States government can resolve. We also have the Second Amendment. So the Second Amendment protects all people. People of all backgrounds deserve to protect their families. And, you know, all economic and ethnic backgrounds deserve to protect their families. But here, there was actually a story in Beverly Hills the other day where a person was wearing like a it was like a $500,000 watch. It was a jewelry store owner, I think. And 3 men came in, and then one person was hit with, thank God she survived, because they wanted the watch. They didn't follow the law. And Los Angeles, like New York, has strict Second Amendment laws. Anyway, 6 minutes in, hit subscribe to this channel. Hunter responded no to a question on the transaction record that asks, are you an unlawful user of or addicted to a wonderful green substance or any depressant, stimulant, narcotic, or any other controlled substance. 5 years earlier, he had been discharged from the Navy Reserve after testing positive for a powdered substance, and he and his family members have spoken out about his history of, narcotics use. Now, he lied on the form. He lied on the copy of the transaction record on October 12, 2018. So he obtained a Second Amendment that his father right now is blaming for all the atrocities. Okay, that's what Democrats do. They blame the actual object. Criminals don't follow the law. Okay, so you can look. Criminals just don't follow the law, and if you look at laws meant to address issues, for example, like the Second Amendment, or like this issue in particular, it's always Hollywood celebrities that have their own security detail. It's always a person like Hunter Biden, the son of President Biden, who lied on a form. So that's a big problem. It's a felony. Lying on the form is a felony. Their prosecutions are okay. But the issue here, ladies and gentlemen, is that he was kicked out of the Navy for substance abuse. And what also took place is that the Secret Service got involved because his girlfriend at the time threw his Second Amendment in a dumpster near a school. So that's also a problem. And then, of course, he left his laptop. This man shouldn't be owning any type of... Not only does he have his Secret Service detail, but you're looking at somebody who simply lied all the time. I mean, lies on a form meant to protect Americans. And this is the duplicity and the hypocrisy. His father right now wants to make it difficult for law-abiding citizens to obtain. And he's lying on a form. His girlfriend is throwing his Second Amendment in a dumpster. So, and then the Secret Service gets involved. This is before he leaves a laptop, or who knows when he left the laptop, at a computer repair store. So it's like, and just here, if you look in the past year at 2 cities in particular, New York and Chicago, that have strict Second Amendment laws, okay? And if you count the number, you can count the number of injuries, fatalities, and if you count the number of shootings just in those cities alone, those cities have the greatest number of, or greatest amount of laws protecting or preventing, curbing the Second Amendment, okay? Addressing the Second Amendment, making it difficult for people to obtain what anyone can illegally obtain. Laws, you're not stopping a person like Hunter Biden. That's my point. Okay? You're not stopping a person like Hunter Biden. That person will get his own security detail. You're not stopping a person like Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden is like committed crimes. You're not stopping him. So you're not going to stop a Hunter Biden. Okay? Just really quickly, I have this. It's really interesting that they look at the most dangerous cities in America. A great many of the dangerous cities happen to be cities in blue states. Blue states with the greatest number of laws, addressing the Second Amendment. So here, Baltimore, for example, years back was the nation's most dangerous, in 2018, Baltimore is the nation's most dangerous big city. This is a USA Today article. How so if the Second Amendment is the issue? They have laws that address the Second Amendment, just like LA and New York, that curb and try to prevent people from obtaining Second Amendments, and yet the laws don't work. See, Democrats say, well, laws will fix everything. Well, it didn't for the pandemic. It's not Trump's fault that Cuomo sent infected people into nursing homes. Okay, that's not Trump's fault. That's 15,000 lives lost because of Andrew Cuomo. And 34% of all the lives lost were in nursing homes. California, New York, New Jersey, Michigan, and Pennsylvania had had nursing home scandals because of their Democratic governors. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Government is always the answer. And then you have somebody like Hunter Biden that uses his connections in government, for example, to commit crimes. And he lied on the specific forum where one would think a good liberal would tell the truth. Give me your thoughts below. This is one of the reasons why if Biden can't even stop his own son from obtaining what apparently he shouldn't have obtained just with the existing laws and the existing forms, he's not going to make the country better with greater legislation. Give me your thoughts below.